Hello, everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Day 20 of March of Robots. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, sketching first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the sketch portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out with a gray Copic marker, look at the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself to get us going. Broken robot. That's what I'm doing this time. That's the idea. Broken robot. So he was in battle. I did a battle bot yesterday. I mean, I didn't really intend on it being a battle bot, but that's what happened. That's how it came out. And something about it was like really cool. I was like, oh, I like this. But what if he was damaged? What if this guy, was getting into the battle and he's missing some parts. He's missing, his whole arm. Let's just do that. Like, this is missing, and there's wires hanging out and whatnot. I just thought I'd do something different by drawing a broken robot. Right? I don't know why I'm trying to make it pretty it up, but I'm doing like I had the hand down like this, so I was like, let's draw something a little zany, a little I don't know. I think I want to draw like a, I don't know what, like almost like a hammer, like it's got these other parts on it, and that's what he uses to smash with, maybe, right? I did draw like a big like sword type kind of thing, but it's like we did that yesterday. Let's make this a little different, and we don't know exactly, like everything else, we don't know exactly what's what, but that's how some of these work. Is like let's make it like Thor's hammer, like it's got a little thing on the end. But we're gonna say that's the battle part of the battle bot, that it's ready for battle and seen through a lot. Seen through a lot in his days, and he's worn out, and this is what's left, and this is who he is. This is what's left of the gigantic smashy smash robot. And I'm doing a lot of boxy lines on this one because the yesterday's I did was very, very curved. Like all the pieces were curved. So I'm gonna do more square, almost like what's Voltron, something like that, where it's like, or maybe even what do you call them? The Transformers. There's not a lot of round stuff. It's a lot of square parts, right? But I think that's really going to be it, because if this is broken, there's not much else I can really do that's going to work on him. Like, he's ready for battle. This is what's going to happen, and this is all he's got left. But he's still fighting the good fight. He's still trying to make it work. So I say we go. I say we welcome all the skippers and get going to the Sharpie portion. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly a fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I sketched the entire thing out. I've left enough to see where we're going to go, but that should disappear as we're going. And if you want to see more March of Robots, check out that playlist right there, or just check out the playlist in general, because I do so many different drawings. I may have already drawn what you're looking for. So let's just dive right in. I've already sketched it out. I'm going to give him some kind of strange teeth. Not really teeth, but again, because this is just some strange beginning of something, we're going to say that this is what it looks like. Right? And so that's why I say teeth, because as I'm sketching, I was like, oh, that kind of looks like teeth. It doesn't mean they are, but we see a lot of human features and things. What's that called? Not dysmorphia. That's something else. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the word, but when you see human faces and stuff in shapes, like in the clouds, and you see elephants and things like that, you know, that's called something. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Anyway, focusing too much on the wrong thing. Broken robot, that's what we're going. Broken robot. All right. Ooh, this looks very... I didn't intend for him to be very evil, but those eyes and that mouth and the teeth that I ended up doing ended up being a little bit more evil than I expected. And then even here, as I try to fix it, as I try to do something else, it looks like even more evil, right? Didn't mean for that to happen, but we're gonna go with it. But again, maybe that works for a battle bot, you know, whatever this guy is. You know, he wasn't made for looking pretty. He was made for doing damage, and that's why he received his damage. BattleBots. In there, I'm just adding, you know, robot parts, robot shapes. Let's see. Let's give him shoulders, and he's kind of slumped down on this side, like that. This one's coming up. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw his chest because I talked about this in the sketch of why the shapes are the way they are. So you can go back there and check it out if you want. I'm not going to go back into it because, again, I've already talked about it. And I don't want to bore people that sit through it. Yeah. Let's give him, like, his head is inside that, which has extra parts that move and do something. I don't know what. But you know how we like to do, how we like to give it robotic features, qualities, movable parts. Movable parts without explanation. That's really what it comes down to. Is I try to make it look like it can move, but don't explain how it does. But it's not like it needs to, though. You know what I mean? It's like I do this for my own benefit because I want to be able to say this is how it moves. But it doesn't need to, right? We're creating this. We're the designers. I'll come back to that in a second. Let's draw his arm because his hammer is going to be in front of this leg, so I need to draw this first. And I'm going to draw his old Voltron, sorry, not Ultron. His old Voltron arm with the square parts. And again, I talked about this in the sketch. But I'm making them more, well, never mind. Again, I already talked about it. Good, I like it. Let's break up the thick, what do you call it? Silhouette with some thinner lines like that. And again, connected in there somehow. Who knows what, but that's where it's connected. I got the forearm coming down this way. And then this one's kind of going over and coming down to the fist. Now the fist is wrapped around this, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw the first of the digits, right? And then the other ones are kind of wrapped around, going underneath. These are over. We'll say they're knuckles, right? Kind of go inside there. So now it's holding the what can we call it? The Mjolnir, right? Instead of the Mjolnir. Got grandpa jokes. Okay. Now, again, I'm kind of jumping around with what I'm doing because I want it to look like what's in front is in front of everything. I mean, it makes sense, right? But you have to draw what's in front, then you can draw what's behind. So now that that's defined, I can go ahead and close off some of these edges. You know, we're gonna just do like that. Same thing here, I can go and close these edges off. Now that I've got a placement and a definition. And the nice thing too is, like, I don't have to define the entire thing because it's understandable of what it is, you know? Okay, so the hammer, let's see, I had it drawn like this, but I kind of need to draw it like this now to make it parallel to the handle here. And I'm just making it up. I'm just saying, okay, if it's got this, let's give it some kind of spike on the back or something. Who knows? Just to make it powerful, scary, right? Menacing. That's the word I'm looking for. Make it look menacing. And we'll add like a little bit of, there's a bend in that. We'll add a chunk like that taken out. I'll do more stuff with color, but you know, we'll do like we did over there with like a screw holding it together. Yeah, I want it to look all beat up, but again, I want to draw it in front of his leg, so now I can hang on a second. Let's draw that broken arm before we do anything else real fast. We're gonna say there's a piece coming out like that, and then we're gonna draw wires, a core center that's like attached to nothing, that's broken like that, and then again some more wires hanging off. And let's do some with the smaller Sharpie too, just to show that it's not just that big fat line. Right? But yeah, just something like that, just to kind of show that that's the mechanical wiring and parts and stuff that's inside that got broken off. Then we'll do some sparks and stuff like that maybe, you know, but I just like the idea that we're doing it different by breaking the arm off, you know, BattleBot. Okay, so let's give him his front, and so excuse me, I always draw like, well, it makes sense, like underwear, you know, like a front crotch piece like that holding in everything. Like I said, it makes sense for underwear, but and then that's it. There's really no explanation. It's like, yeah, you kind of have to, you know, the way that you need movement here but solidity there. So in other words, for the pelvis and all this stuff, or the hips, you need to be able to move those legs. So I kind of like that idea of leaving mobility. I probably shouldn't have done this, like, because it's going to be under here and it might get a little too messy, but that's okay. Let's see, I can connect it with, let's say, something like this. I don't know what I'm adding here, but again, I'm just kind of adding an edge that I'm going to color all this in anyway, you know, so it's just a way to connect my pieces here. And like I said, most of that's going to be black, because a lot of times when I do the inner workings, I just color in black anyway. Because that's not A, that's not the important part, and B, it's just going to get covered up, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this side too so we can kind of finish it up together. So I'm going to do that little round part like that. And we're going to say, let's do this. I don't know why I just tilted it that way. Like that. It should have been like this. That's that, right? I guess I did kind of do that. So that'll work. That'll work. But see, this is what I was afraid of is as fun as that is, I don't want it to look too busy. You know, it's got to look, and I'll do that with color and shading, but without color and shading, there's a lot going on right there. And that's why I should have planned it a little bit better, but I'm not upset. I'm just going to keep going, right? This, I'm going to go ahead and just cover it off like that. Here's that little part there. And do that. All right, so same thing here. I'm just going to kind of add parts that would be inside, parts you can't see or explain or have to worry about. And see, it can be that simple because again, it's not really going to be even seen. It's going to be just colored in black. That's the inner workings, right? But I like it better than just leaving it blank. That way it leaves all this on the outside to stand out on its own. Let's see, so for the knees, let's see, okay, so this leg, this part is over this part because of the extent of the way he's bending. And normally, like your finger, when you do that, your muscles move and give it room for that kind of thing. But robot parts can't do that. So that and that, if we're saying that that's part of that and that is that, we can definitely bend like this, but if that part hits that, you got resistance, right? So I'm putting it underneath like that to give it room to make sure it can stay like that. But so I got to make a decision for the knee. I guess what I can do is just kind of make it thin, like it's in between, but it's a thin line right there. So we're gonna say it goes like this, and then goes big for the big gigantic knee, right? It gives it room to breathe, room to bend. Okay, that's the biggest problem when making toys. How do you make a hard edge bend into itself when it's not going to work? And that's a lot of times why they break the seam line. They break the lines of how it looks because they've got no choice. You know, you've got to do stuff like that. For the front though, we can kind of say that, look, it's all kind of, if you're looking at this from the front, you're going to see that line there, that line there. It's going to look like one piece. So let's do that. Let's make it one piece. Like that. And then because it's floating, we're going to say, well, then this comes down like this. Pretty easy for the front, right? Or for the straight on shot. It's pretty easy. But it's good to think of stuff like that whenever you're designing, just to keep it consistent. Oh, I said I was going to make this blocky too, like that, right? Let's go ahead and give it a blocky edge, like that. And then we'll say that's more of a square too. So, there we go. Blocky. For his feet, we're just gonna give him feet. Regular old feet. Let's do this side so you can get a side view too. There's an ankle, like this. I say regular old feet, but it's a robot, right? I mean, how regular is a robot? Not at all. Oops. Something like that. And then I just need to define it for the front view. Yeah, simple. Just simple, super simple. We don't have to go too crazy with that. All right, so for the front, we're gonna say we're gonna do that ankle and then the toes. And the toes you can kind of see above like that, so I'm gonna do those first. I want one toe down here like this. There's the front of that, and then the other one is kind of same thing. Pretty much in front of itself, so you can't really see too much. that, close it off, and then this is lower. I'll come down and do this. Let's draw that little circular cylinder. What did I keep calling it? I don't know. But we're looking at it from a different view, so that's why we're going like that. So I don't think there's much I can really do here with the smaller Sharpie. Not a lot of detail I can add. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest of it with color. That is day 20 of March of Robots. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.